Hi everyone, welcome back to Ask Me Anything. I know it has been a while, and to be frank, I think it's partly my own vanity. I am now 7 months pregnant, and I know I don't quite look the way I usually do, so I've just been a little nervous getting on or getting in front of the camera, but I've been getting the same question over and over again that I think is very important, so I thought it was worth coming out of hibernation and getting back in front of all you guys to answer this question. So the question is, should I buy now or should I wait? So obviously the answer can vary depending on where you live. I'm gonna focus mostly on here in Manhattan, and my answer is buy now. I know I've probably said this before, and some of what I'm going to say is going to be repetitive, but it truly is one of the best buyer's markets I have ever seen right now. Inventory is at all-time high, interest rates are at an all-time low. Everything is really set in place for a true buyer's market, and you really have a lot of the power in your hands as a buyer, especially here in Manhattan. I know some people are saying, well, what about the election? What about if there's another wave of coronavirus? Yes, things could potentially go lower, but I do not know anyone that has successfully, tried to strategically time the market and time the bottom of the market. It is very difficult to do. A couple reasons. One, we don't know when we've hit the bottom until we start coming up. So I feel like most people, when they actually bought at the bottom of the market, it was luck, and it wasn't until they looked back and they realized, oh, I actually did make that purchase at an optimum time. But I bet you if you ask them, they didn't know that it was the actual bottom at that time. The other thing is, once the market starts to perceive collectively that we're at the bottom, that's when everyone rushes in, and that's when you start to see bidding wars again. So it's just extremely difficult to time the bottom, and I think right now we're already seeing incredible negotiability, really, prices we haven't seen for years. So to me, it's like right now it's like winning the lottery, and if someone told you, you just won $30 million in the lottery, but you have the chance to either, if you wait, you might win the Powerball, or you might get less than what you have now. What would you do? I mean, to me, I would rather take that money now, those earnings, those winnings, and and take advantage of it. I don't think anyone would regret, maybe a year down the road, like, oh, if I just waited a couple months, maybe I would have gotten a little bit less. I guarantee you're not even really going to be thinking about it after you make that purchase. And if the house is right for you, it checks all the boxes and you're getting it at a good deal, you're not going to be thinking about, oh, maybe I could have gotten it for slightly less. I think I've mentioned this before, and it's probably the only thing I feel like I can truly brag about with some confidence and not feel bad about it, is that I have had amazing luck in my own personal real estate investing in making good deals at good times. I bought in '02 when things were pretty good, and then I waited a few years, saw things come down a little bit before they came back up, sold in '08, and then I bought again in March of '09 when everyone was telling me you're crazy, but I did it anyways because I found a property I loved. I knew I was going to make it my home. I was going to be there for at least 3 years, and I don't know that I actually would have gotten it for much less had I waited. And then I sold it in 2016 at a peak, and then earlier this year we ended up buying in the suburbs in February before everything happened and before the mad rush to the suburbs, where now I don't know that we'd be able to afford the home that we bought. I'm not saying everyone is going to have the same luck I've had, and I will say it was a great deal of luck in almost all of those situations. I didn't know per se that I was buying at a low and selling at the peak each time. I bought when it made sense for me and when I found a property that could work for me for the long term, and I knew I was getting a good deal, and that was enough for me. So I just wanted to put that out there to you. I hope that's some encouraging advice if you've been thinking about it. Obviously, like I said in the beginning, it depends where you're looking to buy. Manhattan, I would say, is where you're going to get the best deals right now, probably in the country. And we know that Manhattan always rebounds. We've seen that historically over the past 100 years. Every time the market has come down here, it has come back up stronger than ever. So I don't think you have to worry about long-term what's going to happen if you purchase now. And again, if it's a home that you think you're going to stay in for at least 3 years, I don't see any downturn or downside to that. Things are a little bit different outside the city right now. Things have kind of exploded in the suburbs outside the city. Understandably, a lot of people have wanted to make a change during the pandemic. So if you're interested in learning more about what's going on outside the city, let me know specifically where, and I'll put you in touch with the right person to tell you, is it the right time there? But I'll also say, and I mentioned it before, not everything is about making the absolute most strategic decision possible. I think it has to be a balance between, is it a good time in the market, and is it a good time for me, and is this what I need for myself or my family? And if you can answer both of those questions, then I would say go for it. Other thing I want to mention that's a good time to do right now is refinance. Rates, like I said in the beginning, are incredibly low, and I believe there's some legislation coming in December that's going to tack on an additional fee for refinancing. So you have a small window now. If you can refinance before that happens, you might save a little bit of money. And again, we're in just an incredible time where you can lock in a rate for the next 30 years at a historically low point. Again, if you have any specific questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to give referrals outside the city. I'm happy to give referrals to mortgage brokers that can help with refinancing or getting you ready to make a purchase here in the city or Brooklyn. And until next time, which I'm hoping there'll be a next time before I deliver this baby in 2 months, I hope you all are well and have a great week. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.